So we knew that this year we did want a child, 2016 of course, and we just weren't too sure at an exact time, like a set date. We really had no plans. We knew that we just wanted one this year. We weren't at the time we weren't trying, but we weren't preventing. So we just kind of went about our lives. Like, it's not like we were expecting it to happen, you know, right away or even like 6 months down the road. And so on the 15th of March, I was supposed to get my cycle, and it never showed up, but I was still unconvinced, and I was like, oh, I'll get it tomorrow, I'll get it the next day. And then I think we ended up taking a cheap dollar store test, and following the few days, which was, we ended up taking those, I ended up leaving the rest of the month just to see how long it would pan out before, just in case I got it, before I decided to take a test. So we took our first test around the end of March, beginning of April, just a cheap dollar store test. And when we took it, it was early in the morning, and we took it and it came back negative for, you know, at first what I thought was, it was a negative. And then I ended up leaving it, you know, went about 5 minutes later, I just kind of checked back on it. Now I know there's a time period of when you're supposed to check them, but there was a faint line, which I made him immediately go and check and see what it said on it.
I really couldn't tell. It was really faint.
It was a very faint line. We weren't really convinced. We were kind of like, oh, you know, it could be an evap line. It could just be, you know, a shadow. So that following night, he was convinced we need to go get another test. Yep. We need another test. And so we ended up going out and getting another dollar store cheapie. And we also picked up a clear blue and a digital. Now those we didn't take right away. We took the cheapies first, and
Yep.
It was a pack of 2, and both came back positive.
Yeah.
Okay, honey. So we did a couple of tests, right?
We did 2 tests. One is New Choice,
Yeah.
and the other one is the other one.
Doesn't matter.
There's something else.
There's different company,
Yeah,
but
they're both different brands.
but we like you could both see the lines on that.
They're both positive.
So it looks like she could be pregnant.
And I'm 10 DPO today. And these aren't first.
But when I look at that,
I see positive.
I see. I can even see that on the and yeah, that's positive, honey. Okay, we'll do a test tomorrow. Can we kiss? Love you.
So putting all those together, we're kind of like, okay, now it's time to really put it to the test. But we're not going to do it till the next day to make sure it's first morning urine and that it would be accurate results.
That's right. The next day we did. Yeah.
And so the next morning, I woke him up and I says, you know, I was just like, I want this test. Like, I want this done. It
Yeah.
was just like,
Let's do it.
Yeah. So we ended up taking them at the same time. Now, he videotaped it because we wanted to make sure we caught it on video.
Yeah.
And had like a recording of it, you know, because if it was a big situation, it's my first child. Joe already has 2 boys, but it being a while since he's last had a child, it's kind of like a first for him too. So we knew we wanted to capture every moment, as much as we could, on video. I want to see this.
What?
It says yes.
You're pregnant.
Oh my god.
You are.
Oh my god. Of course, at the same time, they both came back with a plus and a yes sign, which was then, I think, we were convinced then.
Oh, the minute I seen the yes, I knew.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when you see a yes, I mean, it's not a faint line, it's a yes.
Oh my god.
You are.
Oh my god.
You are.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you.
And so the clear blue and the digital, they were taken on April 7th, which was just a few days before my birthday. So we had found out before my birthday, but we didn't tell anybody. We just kind of like went about it.
And we still did do a couple of tests afterwards because
I wasn't convinced after my
wasn't
birthday.
convinced.
I didn't really think too much. I was like, man.
I knew, but it was just like, should we get another one? I think we took like
Well,
6.
after our first doctor's appointment that we had gone to, we told him that we had positive tests and everything. And even after that, that was when I had to take another test because we didn't get really he didn't call us back right away after the blood work was done. So it made me kind of worried that, maybe something's wrong. They're not really calling me back. Usually it'd be a bigger deal. So at the first test, yeah, we did get blood work done. That was in April as well.
Was that like a month afterwards?
After the test?
Yeah.
No, that was just a few days after, because that was just
that?
after.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a few days after my birthday, I do believe.
Okay.
And so then I wasn't convinced at that point, so I ended up getting a first response, and we took that, and it came back as the I'm not sure if it's the control line or the test line. I think it's the control line was darker than the actual test line. So that was really weird for me, because usually it's the opposite way, where one shows up darker and the one that's actually testing is lighter. So when it did opposite, I was like, okay, that's indefinite, like positive. So, and I think with the doctor not calling us back right away after our blood work was done kind of worried us.
Yeah.
And Joe had made it a point that I call back the doctor and
that was weird.
Get a hold of him and see what was going on with that whole situation. What ended up happening with that? We called the doctor and made an appointment to go in. And when we went in, it was kind of like, he was like, oh, what are you here for? And he didn't really seem to remember.
Is this the second time?
This was the first doctor's appointment.
The first doctor, he congratulated us.
Yeah, he congratulated us. Or no, this was the second one, sorry.
Okay. See, the first appointment, he congratulated us and said, let's do some tests. So when we, and that was the blood test. And then the second appointment, we walked in, and he goes, well, what are you here for? And I go, well, she's pregnant. Like, don't you know? And he goes, oh, congratulations. And I looked at Kata like, oh, we might be screwed here. Like, he doesn't even know you're pregnant, and he should know, because we went to the first appointment. That was kind of screwy.
Mm-hmm. Like, he knew, and it was just like, kind of like, he kind of blew it under the table like it was nothing, and so.
Yeah.
But during the second doctor's appointment, he did end up saying, oh, we set you up. Well, the first doctor's appointment, he was like, oh, you need to go find an OBGYN. And we didn't know exactly what we were looking for, nonetheless. And we were kind of confused as to, okay, we have to do this on our own. Like, this is kind of a big deal. We don't know. So the second doctor's appointment, he did end up getting us a consultation with an OBGYN, which was awesome. Finally. And then Joe decided that we do want the screening done, which was more blood work and an ultrasound to make sure that they're for like Down syndrome and
like right now we haven't received the screening yet. Mm-hmm. And we talked about if the baby has Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And I think we would still go ahead.
Yeah, they wanted to see for trisomies 18 and Down syndrome, and they said all looks good from what they can see. And
did they give the results?
No, they didn't give us the results, but the ultrasound tech said from what she could see, it all looked good. The baby wouldn't stop moving, of course, which I wasn't really surprised. Now, when he sent us for a screening, it was 45 minutes away from where we live. So I was kind of worried that all of our ultrasounds and stuff would be done about 45 minutes away, until I found out that it was just for this screening in particular and blood work. And
yeah.
Now that gave us pretty much a runaround with the GPS trying to find that place. The GPS gave us a complete different...
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the ultrasound now?
Yeah, I'm just telling you
okay.
about the whole location.
Okay, then let's stop it.
Okay.
Thank you for watching.
And we'll see you next time.